with a picture of the upside down view that I have of systemic investment fraud, how the investment industry wants to cheat or shortchange you, an epidemic of abused trust. Okay, let's start here, shall we? In Canada, the Advocates Financial Planning Group, which is no better, no worse than, well, than IROC in the Canadian side or FINRA in the US, but they're proposing a bill in the Ontario legislature to professionalize their business, saying we're almost a profession. Here's what I find funny about it. Their bulletin in April 1 year ago maybe shed some light on why they're proposing to be a self-regulator. They put out in bold letters that the industry is on the edge of radical transformation. We could see a dramatic alteration in how advisors are paid. They're speaking about themselves, even though they're agents and licensed as agents or salesmen. Banning embedded commissions scares the life out of them, and imposing a statutory-based fiduciary duty, putting it in our statutes, in our rules, scares the life out of these guys. And that is an indication that they're not ever going to be a profession if that's their attitude. The answers they give were checked up on Globe Advisor, Brian Milner, December 2013. They asked him why they didn't want these things. He writes, Advocates' ludicrous response is that this would drive up the cost of financial advice, believe me, if they had to reveal their hidden commissions, making it unaffordable for middle-class Canadians. The lobby group warns that the costs are already shooting up and people could wind up as financial advice orphans. Brian says, yikes! He would rather be an orphan than have a conflicted advisor who peddles expensive products to unsuspecting investors. Brian nails it. I believe the truth is a little bit closer there. So the fiduciary duty, it's the duty to place first and foremost another person's interests first, best interests, without regard to one's own. That's not only a duty of basic human decency, but it is a requirement to be a professional, and for advocates to argue against that duty is really quite silly, especially when I look at their website, Enhancing Professionalism of Financial Advisors in the Best Interest of the Consumer. They advertise and they push this and they imply to you that they have this duty. However, they do not want to have this duty. They will do anything to avoid this duty. Here's a misconception. As advisors, we are already under a fiduciary duty at common law. Skip the rest of this sentence because it's fine print and bullshit. As advisors, we're already under a fiduciary duty at common law. Let's go look and see what you have to do to get them to live up to their fiduciary duty at common law. Common law means take us to court. It means go and hire a lawyer. It means spend the last 10 years of your life fighting the fight of your life. It means get $500,000 before you can even get a lawyer to listen to you. And by the way, we already have your money, so we can afford all the lawyers we like. Sue us. That is the question. The answer is, why switch from a common law to a statute-based fiduciary duty? They do not wish customers to not have to jump through this hoop, because the investment industry wins every time if they have to go up against this man and this man. They have the power to beat anyone. It's almost a bullying proposition is what they would like. So they would like to be able to continue to be the powerful entity and not switch to a fiduciary, a statute-based, regardless of what their advertising says. They also say a statutory fiduciary duty would eliminate the flexibility of the common law duty, and flexibility is only for them. This is to their advantage to do the common law trick. So again, not very, it's very disingenuous. And it reminds me of the article by Darla Mercado, in FINRA complaint highlights an epidemic of abused trust. All brokers and advisors still are subject to principles of human decency. Please, in addition to their compliance rules. Funny that Advocates does not even want to put this in their rules. Final word goes to Final word, second final word. Here's an example of a bunch of insurance representatives that took 45 clients from the, let's see, State University of California. They moved $21 million out of MetLife products, put them into other MetLife products, skimmed 7% commissions out of it, put $1.5 million in their pockets, and 22 of them lost their death benefits. This is the epidemic of abused trust that happens when people get to police themselves. And her final comment says it best: if you're going to be a self-regulator, respect the basic rule when interacting with clients. Do not be an abusive jerk. Thanks.